morning students. I wish you all are doing well in your life. Keep studying hard, keep working hard like that. This side here Priyanka, your biology mentor, to help you with your queries regarding biology. So students, in our previous classes we had discussed about the two chapters of our biology textbook, that is the living world and the biological classification. And in this session we will study about a specific kingdom of the 5 kingdom system of classification, that is your plant kingdom. In our previous classes we already discussed the differences between the living world as well as the non-living world, as well as we had also studied the diversity of the organisms and how different scientists came with their fabulous ideas and they divided the variety of organisms into different kingdoms. First, two kingdom system of classification came where Carolus Linnaeus divided the diversity of the organisms into two different kingdoms, that is Kingdom Plantae and Kingdom Animalia. As well as the next session we saw that 3 kingdom system of classification came, and another important kingdom, Kingdom Protista, is added with the 3 kingdom system of classification, which was given by R.H. Haeckel. Then after some times, after days, different scientists came and they came up with their fabulous ideas and they added another kingdom in their diversity of the classification, that is Kingdom Monera. Then all around, after the final discussion, another kingdom added, that is your Kingdom Fungi, because Kingdom Fungi is completely different in their morphology, in their cell structure, in their general characters from the rest of the kingdoms. That's why they added Kingdom Fungi in a different group. So after all those discussions, all those general study features, they added Kingdom Fungi into 5 kingdom system of classification. And lastly, 5 kingdom system of classification created by R.H. Whittaker in 1969, and it is worldwide accepted. And the 5 kingdom, those which were worldwide accepted, they were Kingdom Protista, Kingdom Monera, Kingdom Fungi, Kingdom Plantae, as well as Kingdom Animalia. So we had already discussed all those 5 kingdoms in our previous classes elaborately, about the Kingdom Protista, about the Kingdom Monera, about the Kingdom Fungi, Plantae, as well as Animalia as well. So in Kingdom Monera we saw that bacteria are the sole members of the kingdom, and we studied that they were prokaryotic organisms. Prokaryotic means their cell system is not so well developed. Their nucleus is not well developed system like in the eukaryotic system. All these things we studied in Kingdom Monera. In Kingdom Protista we saw that unicellular eukaryotes, as that we saw in Kingdom Monera unicellular prokaryotes. After that we studied Kingdom Fungi, where in Kingdom Fungi they are either be unicellular just like yeast, as well as they might be multicellular just like your mushroom, which is edible. Okay. And after that we also studied that Kingdom Plantae and Kingdom Animalia. Fungi is not introduced in Kingdom Plantae because they do not have chloroplast. Fungi is not introduced in Kingdom Animalia because they lack the mobility power, and in feature wise they are also different. Okay. And after that we studied Kingdom Plantae, who are autotrophic organisms who can synthesize their own food, as well as we studied about Kingdom Animalia, where a lot of heterotrophic organisms were included. They were not autotrophic because they cannot synthesize their own food. They depend upon other organisms, actually the plants, actually the producers, for their survival. In this session we will study specifically about the Kingdom Plantae. Which groups, which plants are included in the Kingdom Plantae. In Kingdom Plantae we just not see only one type of plants, that is your higher plants or lower plants. We include variety of plants within them. we can see algae, we can see fungi, we can see herbs, we can see shrubs, we can see longer to longer trees within them. So, in this session, we will study about the variety of plants which includes in the Kingdom Plantae. Okay, if you will see in Kingdom Plantae, we can see that not a specific type of organisms, not a specific type of features. We see there are variety of plants on our surroundings, not a specific type of plant. Even we can distinguish them in their features, in their characters. Okay. For example, you can see some ponds are covered by just like a carpet, green carpet of organisms. When you see them from a different distance, you see like that a green carpet is spread in the pond. Okay, that is your algae. You can see bryophytes, some little or tiny organisms or tiny plants, they are spread in the moist soil. You can also see your higher plants, shrubs, herbs, and in this type of plants you also see that these types of plants are also grown in different areas. So, what are they and what their names are, what scientists given them, which names to them. So, all these things we will study in this session. Okay. So, let us study from the beginning, and just like we had also studied in Kingdom Monera, Protista, Plantae, Fungi, Animalia, in this session also we will study them completely sequentially about their general features, about their different types of habitat, about their cell structure, about their morphology as well as anatomy, about their mode of reproduction as well as some other extra features. Okay, let us see which organisms are included in the Kingdom Plantae and what are their general features. First, study about their general features. Okay, if you will look into the general features of the Kingdom Plantae, okay, they are the eukaryotic organisms. As we had already discussed in our previous session, eukaryotic means what? Eukaryotic means what? Eu means well developed and karyotic words refers to the karyon, that means nucleus. It means in this group of organisms generally there are well developed as well as what? Higher advanced type of organisms are present. It means their cell structure is advanced compared to your prokaryotic system. Only in the 5 kingdom system of classification we see there is only group. We see there is only one kingdom who contains prokaryotic organisms, that is your Kingdom Monera. Rest of the kingdom, rest of the organisms have eukaryotic cells, eukaryotic organization. Okay. So, Kingdom Plantae includes eukaryotic organisms. If your question comes, Kingdom Plantae includes which type of organisms, that is prokaryotic or eukaryotic, you will say there that Kingdom Plantae includes eukaryotic organisms. Okay. Next, about their cell count. About their cell count, there are also some organisms, generally they are multicellular, they are made up of different types of cells and their cells or tissues. When you will go to the higher version of the plants, you will see a lot of cells combined together to perform a specific function, that is a tissue. Tissue level of organization you will see, tissue system level of organization you will see, organ system level of organization, organs you will see in some plants. For example, leaf is also like a organ, okay, a vegetative organ of a plant. So, when you go higher you will see that cell system is developed, tissue system is developed, organ system is developed, or organ is developed. Okay. Generally a group of cells combine to perform a specific function. Okay. Generally we see multicellular organisms, but in Kingdom Plantae there are also some organisms which are unicellular. In Kingdom Plantae, besides multicellular organisms, there are also some organisms which is unicellular. For example, your a unicellular algae, your Chlamydomonas. Okay, Chlamydomonas. Chlamydomonas. It is a unicellular organism. It means it spends all his life cycle, it spends all his life history on a single cell. That's why multicellular organisms are generally present, but unicellular organisms can also be found, okay, in lower organisms. Chlorophyll containing, next another feature of Kingdom Plantae is chlorophyll containing organisms having cellulosic cell wall. It includes the cell structure. Here we see the cell structure. We will not discuss here the cell structure, we are studying or discussing only the general features. Okay, chlorophyll containing organisms. Chlorophyll containing means in their cell we can see a specific organelle. In their cell we can see a specific photosynthetic organelle, that is chloroplast. And inside the chloroplast, we have also studied in our previous classes, inside the chloroplast a circular or a round pigment is present, that is your chlorophyll. And this chlorophyll has the potential to capture the sunlight, and when it captures the sunlight, it derives the energy from that, and using another inorganic substances, a lot of inorganic substances, as well as using the energy, it converts the inorganic substance to the organic substance, that is your glucose, and that is the food of the plants. And all those happen by the process of photosynthesis. That's why as they can prepare their food with the help of energy, with the help of sunlight, okay, they are not depending upon any other organisms for their food preparation or food synthesis, food making. That's why they are called as the autotrophic organisms. It means they can synthesize their own food. Okay, there next your general feature is autotrophic mode of nutrition. It means their mode of nutrition is autotrophic. They are not depending upon other organisms for their survival mechanism. Okay, clear? Let's look into their habitat. We studied about their general features. What general features we studied here? They are eukaryotic. Okay, eukaryotic means their cell system is well developed. Okay, their nucleus is well developed. When you will see a eukaryotic cell, there you can see that well developed nucleus is present, membrane bound organelles are also present. So that type of system, that type of cell is called eukaryotic cell. Okay, generally they are multicellular organisms, but some unicellular organisms are also present, that is your chlamydomonas. Unicellular means, uni means single, cellular represents the cell, so single celled. Multicellular means, multi means more than one cell, many cells, okay, many cells, clear? Generally they are multicellular, but in some lower organisms, unicellular organisms also present. It means they can survive in only single cell, okay, they spend their all life in a single cell. Chlorophyll containing organisms. Chlorophyll means what? It means inside their cell there is an organelle is present, okay, for example your chloroplast, and inside the chloroplast we find there is chlorophyll, and chlorophyll has the potential, it can capture the sunlight as well as it can prepare its food by the help of it, okay, clear? And that's why they are called as the autotrophic organisms, or their mode of nutrition is autotrophic, clear? As their mode of nutrition is autotrophic, that's why they are called as what? Autotrophs. Clear students? Next we will look into about their habitat, where they are found, okay, in which areas they can survive. In plants you will see variety of organisms, not a single organism is considered under this kingdom. A variety of organisms you will see, just like your algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms. There are also some words which might be very new for you, but we will study that and all those words you will master here. Plants. Okay. Generally, scientists divided the plant kingdom into two categories. One is your cryptogams. One is your cryptogams. Before going to the habitat, let's see the plant kingdom is divided into how many categories and which organisms or which plant groups are considered under those categories. Okay, let's see first. Generally, your plant kingdom or plant kingdom or plants, they are divided into two categories. One is your cryptogams, another is your phanerogams. Okay, cryptogams. What this word represents? Cryptogams. Crypto means what? Crypto. Have you ever heard this word cryptocurrency? Have you ever heard this? Cryptocurrency. Crypto means what? Hidden. Okay. Here also crypto means hidden. What is hidden? Their sex organs are hidden. Okay. Here you will see hidden sex organs. Phanerogams means here you will see visible sex organs. Okay. Cryptogams means semanଙ୍କର sex organ ତମ ମାନେ ଦେଖିବାକୁ ପାଇବନି, but in phanerogams you will see visible sex organs. It means ତମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ flower ଟାକୁ ଦେଖୁଛ, when you are looking at a flower, you can easily recognize what is its male reproductive organ and what is its female reproductive organ. You can easily recognize or not? Yes. Whenever you are looking at the reproductive organ of a plant, reproductive organ means कौन? Flower. जो थरे reproduction process टा कौन होची? Carry out होची. Whenever we are considering about a plant, जो तोला में गोटे plant को consider करूचे, plant रो general तमे देखिबो vegetative organs अच्छी as well as कौन रोची? Reproductive organs रोची. तो flower होची plant रो कौन? Flower is plant's reproductive organ and we can easily recognize about different parts of the reproductive organ. जमती कि तमरो फ्लावर देखुचो, फ्लावर रे तमे कोन देखुचो? मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव ऑर्गन देखुचो as well as फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव ऑर्गन देखुचो. मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव ऑर्गन को तमरो कहउछंती एंड्रोइशियम as well as female reproductive organ is otherwise called your gynoecium. We can easily recognize about the androecium part. We can easily recognize what is anther. We can easily recognize through the dissection process. We can easily recognize the female reproductive organ. We can study them clearly about the various parts of the your gynoecium, just like your stigma, style, ovary. We can easily distinguish, we can easily recognize the subparts. That's why we can see that in phanerogamous, that is in your flowering plants, okay, we can easily recognize their sex organs. Okay, clear? But here the sex organs are also present, but they are hidden. That's why they are called cryptogams. That's why they are called cryptogams. And here in phanerogams, visible sex organs are present, as well as these cryptogams are otherwise called as the non-flowering plants. Non-flowering plants. Okay, what? Non-flowering plants. What? These cryptogams are otherwise called as the non-flowering plants, but these phanerogams are otherwise called as the flowering plants. Flowering plants. Flowering plants. Clear? Clear. So generally the whole plant kingdom, okay, is divided into two categories. What is this? What are those? Okay, that is your cryptogams and another is your phanerogams. Okay, the whole plant kingdom is divided into two groups or two categories. One is your cryptogams, another is your phanerogams. Okay, cryptogams, here crypto word you can see here. Okay, crypto means hidden. So in cryptogams we can see hidden sex organs Okay, but in phanerogams we see visible sex organs are present. That's why it is called phanerogams. And these cryptogams is otherwise considered as the non-flowering plants, and this phanerogams is otherwise called as the flowering plants. Okay, clear? Clear? Okay. And within cryptogams we study generally algae, which are otherwise called as thallophytes because of their thallus-like structures. In algae we see the thallus-like structures are present. Thallus-like structure or thallophyte means what? It means their root, stem, leaf is not easily identified. Okay, thallus structure generally, just like in fungi. Okay, you can see that a group of hypha combine to form mycelium, mycelium-like structure, and in algae also you will see a lot of cells combine to form a thallus-like structure. Okay, that's why their leaf, as we can see, if I am drawing a plant, okay, if I am drawing a plant here, okay, I am drawing a plant here, you can easily recognize its organs. For example, you can easily recognize that, ma'am, it is leaf, ma'am, it is flower. You have drawn here the flower, and these are the stem of the plant. Okay, these are the roots. These are the roots. You can easily recognize all the plants, all the parts of the plant, that is your leaf, flower, stem, roots. You can easily recognize that. But in algae, you cannot easily recognize. Generally, you cannot recognize. You cannot recognize that what are its leaves, what are its flowers, stem, roots. You cannot recognize, or you cannot easily distinguish about the root, stems as well as leaves. That's why they are called as thallophytes, and their structure is called a thallus-like structure, and they are called as algae. Algae. In cryptogams, you will study about algae, as well as another group is there in the cryptogams, that is your bryophytes. Bryophytes. It is a little bit developed structure rather than the algae. Algae are generally very lower organisms. Okay, very lower organisms. Their structure is thallus-like structure. Their root, stem, leaves is not easily identified. They are generally aquatic. See students, when your life created in this earth, when your life evolved in this earth, generally it is considered that life generally evolved in the water. Okay, that's why they are first aquatic organisms, and day by day and years past, they generally evolved from the aquatic organisms to land organisms day by day. Not only in a single day or in a single year, millions of millions year past, they are evolved from the aquatic organisms to land plants. They are evolved from the prokaryotic organisms to the eukaryotic organisms. They evolved from the unicellular organisms to the multicellular organisms. So it took some time. Okay, not in a single day they developed or they evolved. Okay, so in cryptogams we will study algae, we will study bryophytes, we will study pteridophytes. You might be thinking, ma'am, easily said about algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, but these terms are completely new for us. So we will clearly or completely describe them. Okay, do not worry about that. Algae. Okay, what are algae? Let's see about algae. What are algae? You might be seen in rainy season. Okay, you might be walking near the pond. Okay, and you can see a green carpet like structure is spread in the pond, on the pond. Okay, over the pond. Those are generally what? Do you think those are generally grasses or herbs? No, they are generally your aquatic plants, that is algae. Okay, very tiny structures are there. Okay, unicellular structures are there. Okay, but they spread quickly. Okay, they spread vastly, and they spread vastly that they cover completely the pond. Okay, you can see a green carpet like structure, green completely covered like canopy, a green canopy structure in your pond, that is your algae. In land also sometimes, or in marshy areas or in swampy areas where also little bit moist or little bit water are also present, there you sometimes also see a green carpet like structure. They are your bryophytes. Okay, and pteridophytes are little bit developed structure, developed from the bryophytes. Generally the algae are aquatic plants or aquatic organisms. They generally found in aquatic habitat, and bryophytes, they are found in such habitats where water also present and little bit land. They try to come to the land areas. Okay, so bryophytes are otherwise called as the amphibian of the plant kingdom. Bryophytes are otherwise called as the amphibian of the plant kingdom. Do you know why? Students, do you know why they are called as the amphibian of the plant kingdom? What are the characteristics of a amphibia? Frog is a amphibia. Okay, crocodile we can see, crocodile we can also tell them those are also amphibia. Okay, what are the characteristics of a amphibia? They can both survive in land as well as in water. You might be thinking that these plants can survive both in land and water. No, not like that. These plants, bryophytes, they can survive in land, but they are a specific phase. But for a specific phase, for their reproduction process, they generally depend upon water. Okay, that's why for this reason, for this characteristics, they are otherwise called as the amphibian of the plant kingdom. Clear? Pteridophytes. Pteridophytes are the first completely land plants in these two types. Okay, algae and bryophytes, you do not see the vascular system, but first time in pteridophytes you see the vascular bundles or vascular system is present. Okay, in which plant the vascular bundle is present, that is xylem. Vascular bundle means what? Vascular bundle means what? Xylem, phloem. Okay, xylem and phloem. Okay, xylem, phloem, those are called vascular bundle. In which plants? In those plants where vascular bundles are present, they are called tracheophytes. Phyte means what is embedded or what is hidden there, that is your phyta. Phyta refers to your plants. Okay, tracheophytes means vascular bundle is present. Okay, in pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms, they are otherwise called as tracheophytes. It means vascular bundle is present in those plants. But algae and bryophytes, they do not have vascular bundles. They do not have vascular bundles. Okay, because they do not need them. Okay, tankara need nathibaru kono vascular bundle semananka body re present nahi. Clear? So you know what are algae, now you know what are algae, now you know what are bryophytes, now you know what are pteridophytes. Clear? Let's see the phanerogams. Phanerogams are otherwise called as the flowering plants. It means they have visible sex organs. Okay, gymnosperms, angiosperms, they are otherwise called as spermatophytes also. They are otherwise called as spermatophytes. They are otherwise called as spermatophytes. Spermatophyte, sperm means what? I am not talking about zoology. In botany, sperma means seed. In botany, sperma means seed. And phyte, you know, I told you few seconds before that phyte represents plants. Okay, plants. So, what you see? Three terms you see. Okay, that is phanerogams, spermatophytes, tracheophytes. Okay, so these phanerogams otherwise called as the flowering plants. It means flowers bear on those plants. They have visible sex organs. We can easily distinguish or we can easily study about their sex organs or flowers, and they are otherwise called as the spermatophytes. Spermatophyte means what? Spoma means seed. Phyte means plants. So those plants are seed bearing plants. Okay, seed bearing plants. Seed bearing plants. Clear? So those plants are seed bearing plants. That's why they are otherwise called as the spermatophytes. Gymnosperm, angiosperm. You can see they have the seed. Gymnosperm is otherwise called as the, why gymnosperm? Gymnosperm. Gymnosperm means their seed is not covered. They have naked seed. Okay, they have naked ovules. But in angiosperm, you can see whenever you are seeing a fruit, it has a cover, right? Okay, and within those fruit we see the seeds. So here covered seeds are present and here naked seeds are present. That's why they are called gymnosperm, and in angiosperm you see what? A covering is present. Okay, for example in your mango, for example in your jamun, okay, grapes, you see a cover, okay, around a seed. Okay, that is angiosperms. Okay, angiosperms and gymnosperms. Okay, there we see they have visible sex organs. Clear? They have visible sex organs. In cryptogams, what I was telling you before few seconds, that in cryptogams, okay, we generally study about algae, that is thallophytes. Algae are otherwise called as thallophytes because of the thallus like structures are present. Okay, thallophytes, bryophytes and pteridophytes. In cryptogamous, we see or we study the three groups of plants, that is your algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes. Algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes. Okay, and these cryptogams are otherwise called as non-flowering plants. Non-flowering means their sex organs are absent. Okay, and it doesn't flower just like the flowering plants, just like the angiosperms. Okay, in phanerogams, you see gymnosperms. We study here gymnosperms as well as angiosperms. Gymnosperms are naked seeded plants and angiosperms you see covered seeds are present. Okay, and these phanerogams, I have already told you about a term, that is spermatophytes. Spermatophytes. Sperma means, students, sperma means, sperma means in botany, sperma means seed. Phyte refers to the plant. Okay, so these phanerogams are otherwise called as the spermatophytes, means seed bearing plants, Clear? In phanerogams, we study there is generally two groups. Okay, one is gymnosperm, another is your angiosperm. I told you about the variety of plants we generally study in the plant kingdom. In plant kingdom, we generally saw there is two groups. One is your cryptogams, another is your phanerogams. In cryptogams, we saw that just like the word crypto is present there, it means in cryptogams they have hidden sex organ. In phanerogams, they have visible sex organ. In cryptogams, we see that they are non-flowering plants. In phanerogams, we see that they are flowering plants. In cryptogams, we see that in two groups, vascular bundle is absent except the pteridophytes, and in phanerogams, we see vascular bundle is present. In phanerogams, we saw another point, that they are otherwise called as spermatophytes. Sperma means you saw or you read here, that is your seed. Okay, and phyte represent plants. So they are otherwise called as seed bearing plants. Clear? Let's discuss some MCQs. Which of the following are phanerogams? Okay, four options are given here: algae, bryophyte, pteridophyte, angiosperms. Okay, I had already told you. Okay, and I am telling you about few seconds before that the whole total plant kingdom is divided into two categories. One is your cryptogams, where three groups are present, that is algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, and all three names are mentioned here. One is your algae, bryophytes and pteridophytes. They belong to cryptogams, but angiosperm belong to your phanerogams. Phanerogams. So what will be the answer here? Your correct answer will be your angiosperms. Okay, your correct answer here will be the angiosperms. Clear? Next question. Let's see. Cryptogams. Cryptogams are option 1 your non-flowering plants, flowering plants, spermatophytes, seed producing plants. Okay. क्वेश्चन टा टिके बुले के पचार उल्टा पचार क्रिप्टोगैम्स रे तमरो को टाइप रो प्लांट्स देखाउ जो मानकर फ्लावर अच्छी की बैक कर दो टिके. ओके, क्रिप्टोगैम्स वी सी फ्लावरिंग प्लांट्स, स्पर्मेटोफाइट्स, seed producing plants or non flowering plants. Okay students, flowering plants and seed producing plants, they both are one. Okay, फ्लावर अच्छी माने कौन हम, फ्लावर अच्छी माने कौन हम, सेटा कौन हम तुम फर्टिलाइजेशन हम, डबल फर्टिलाइजेशन हम. फ्लावर अच्छी माने फ्रूट आसो, फ्रूट अच्छी माने कौन हम, सीड प्रोडक्शन हम. तो फ्लावरिंग प्लांट, सीड प्रोड्यूसिंग प्लांट. स्पर्मेटोफाइट्स माने कौन, स्पर्मेटोफाइट माने ही तुम सीड प्रोड्यूसिंग प्लांट्स, दे आर सीड प्रोड्यूसिंग प्लांट्स. ओके, स्पर्मा मीन्स टिके आगु कही सीड एंड फाइट मीन प्लांट्स. ओके, जनरली ए दुईटा कौन गोटे कौन देजी, गोटे टर्म दे दीजिए, गोटे तार एक्सप्लेनेशन दे दीजिए. जनरली दुईटा जाक जो तुम ऑप्शन देखुच से दुईटा जाकर ऑप्शन रो मीनिंग होचे समान. ओके, इट मीन्स स्पर्मेटोफाइट्स जहाँ सीड प्रोड्यूसिंग प्लांट से दुईटा जाक गोटे ऑप्शन रे लिखिदेवा कथा. बट से तुमको कन्फ्यूज करने पिलामानंकु कि तांकर क्लियर अच्छी कि नहीं कॉन्सेप्ट कन्फ्यूज करने दुईटा पॉइंट रे देछि हला. क्लियर? एंड फ्लावरिंग प्लांट्स ए तीनटा जाक आम देखुछु कौ थरे. All these three options we can see in phanerogams. So here cryptogams कौन हबो, they are non-flowering plants. So your correct option will be your non-flowering plants. Okay, what will be your correct option? Your non-flowering plants. Clear? Which of these are also called as spermatophytes? Which of these are also called as spermatophytes? Spermatophytes means they are seed bearing plants. Algae, option 1 is your algae, pteridophytes, cryptogams, phanerogams. Algae, pteridophytes, cryptogams, phanerogams. Okay, in cryptogams we studied three groups, that is algae, bryophytes and pteridophytes. So in cryptogams the two groups are given, that is one is algae and pteridophytes, another bryophytes is also present. So what will be the answer here? Spermatophytes belong to what? Your phanerogams. Clear? Phanerogams. What will be the answer here? Phanerogams.